Okay, welcome to the first session of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam with technology interludes for ages 8 and up. Today is the 3rd of January, right? Oh, 2nd of January.
Tomorrow is the 3rd.
Okay, I need to correct this. Okay, today is the 2nd of January. So Vishnu Sahasranamam, we were talking about Bhagavad Gita for the last 27 weeks. So Bhagavad Gita, both Bhagavad Gita and the Vishnu Sahasranama are from the same epic, Mahabharata. So both of these great songs, and both of them are like songs, they are like two eyes for spirituality. If you want to know more about spirituality, if you want to look at spirituality, then the two eyes are like Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu Sahasranama.
But Vishnu Sahasranama is said by Bhishma and the Bhagavad Gita is said by Krishna.
Yeah, that's right. But Bhishma himself says that Vishnu Sahasranama is about Lord Krishna himself.
Really?
Yeah, we will see all those slokas. So this is like a complement to the Bhagavad Gita. So we were learning Bhagavad Gita for the last 27 weeks, and the Vishnu Sahasranama actually complements. You know the meaning of complement, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of complements Gita. So it's like one eye complementing the other eye, right? Bhagavad Gita complements Vishnu Sahasranama and Vishnu Sahasranama complements the Bhagavad Gita. When we want to explore spirituality, when you want to know more about spirituality.
We both agree with each other.
Yeah, they both agree with each other. That's another very important observation. Yes, very good. So what does Vishnu mean? Do you remember?
Me and Shnu, not nothing, which means everything.
Yeah, it's a double negation. It means everything. V is a negation and Shunya is means nothing. So not nothing means everything. So Vishnu means everything. And what is Sahasra?
1,000.
Yeah, Sahasra in Sanskrit means 1,000. And Nama?
Names.
Name. See, English name and Sanskrit Nama. So Vishnu Sahasranama means 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Okay. This is very important because Lord Vishnu is said to be omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. That means he knows everything, he is present everywhere, and what is the other one? And is all powerful. Omnipotent means he is all powerful.
He has all the potential.
Yeah. And he governs our karma. He is the Vidhata. Vidhata means no, Vidhata means the writer of our fate. So he governs our karmas, our actions. And so one of the qualities, actually these names are not really names. I mean, they actually refer to the qualities of God. So for us, names are given with some hope. I mean, sometimes some hope, and sometimes the name looks good. So various reasons our names are given.
No, they also.
So like, so my name was given because they wanted my name to be Vishnu. That's all. There was no specific reason, I believe. Similarly, my sister's name was given because they wanted to give that name, whether it is a boy or a girl. So they wanted to give that name, and it was rhyming, and it was so they just decided. But God's names are not like that, right? God's names have meaning. So the 1,000 names conveys some meaning. And two of the names of Lord Vishnu, which we are going to study in the Sahasranamam, are Dharmadhyaksha and Vidhata.
Isn't Vedanta a word in Janaganamana?
Bhagya Vidhata. Yeah, that's right. So Vidhata means the writer of our fate. So who decides our fate based on our actions. So Vidhata is one name, and then Dharmadhyaksha is another name. What is Dharma?
Duty.
Yeah, whatever is righteous. Dharma means whatever is righteous. Adhyaksha means leader, right? So he is the leader of the Dharma, of whatever is righteous. So that is the reason why Vishnu is very powerful. He decides our fate, and he presides over what is Dharma and what is Adharma. So he decides what is Dharma and what is Adharma. He is the ultimate judge, like. So that is the reason why Lord Vishnu is considered very important in our culture. And the other good thing about Vishnu Sahasranama is it can be chanted by anyone at any time and at any place. So Sarvakala, Sarvavastha. Sarvakala means every time, any time. Sarvavastha means any state. We can recite Vishnu Sahasranama. Other stotras and other mantras cannot be recited as you like.
Like the morning Upanishad need to be said in the morning.
Yeah. So there are a lot of Vedic chants have a timing. Like it is said that in Bali, you know Bali? Where is Bali?
A place in India, like South.
In India? Bali is a place in Indonesia. I actually visited there long back. So in Bali, what they say is they are Hindus. Bali is, though it's an Indonesian country, in Indonesian island, the religion practice there is Hinduism. So there are a lot of temples there. The temples look quite different. The temples in Indonesia and elsewhere in Southeast Asia, they look somewhat different. It is said that in Bali, they did a huge prayer for Lord Shiva using Rudram. Rudram is a chant. Remember, we talked about it in the last class.
Yeah.
So Rudram is a very powerful chant also. And Lord Shiva, they must have done some mistake in reciting or whatever. And there was a huge destruction after following that Rudram, this thing, Rudram Yajna.
What kind of destruction was that? Natural disaster?
Yeah, natural disaster. So that is why, that is the reason why I did not start Vedic chants right in the beginning, right? Even Vishnu Sahasranama, first I started Bhagavad Gita so that we are all purified. Our thoughts are all purified. We know what is spirituality and all that. And then we are exploring Vishnu Sahasranama first, because Vishnu Sahasranama can be recited anywhere by anyone and at any time, right? So that is the reason why we are going with Vishnu Sahasranama, and after that we will start the Vedic chants, because Vedic chants in olden days, Vedic chants were not told to everyone. They were very safely guarded. It was only a select few could access the Vedic chants. Why? Because if you don't understand it properly, you can interpret it wrongly, and if you interpret it wrongly, then it's not good. Someone can cause harm by not understanding it correctly. So that is the reason why Vedas were not told to everyone. Even you should do the same thing. You should make sure that the person is in the right mind, and only then you should tell these things, if at all you tell someone, even for children. Right? It is not because children, they are playful. They play when chanting this, and it can cause, it's not good. You have to be very serious. And with all devotion, you should recite the Vedas. But Vishnu Sahasranama is not like that. You can recite any, even if you are playful, you can recite Vishnu Sahasranama. Even if you are in any state, you can recite Vishnu Sahasranama. And so there is a story that Parasurama, you know Parasurama, right? He is one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. And he is a very short-tempered person.
Right. He came and confronted Rama.
Yeah, he is a very short-tempered person. So in one fit of anger, he said that in Kali Yuga, none of the stotras will be effective. So in olden days, when there were troubles, people used to recite slokas, right? Read slokas and do homas and religious practices and rituals and all that. But Parasurama, in a fit of anger, said that in Kali Yuga, all these stotras will be ineffective. Even if you're...
Why did he do that?
Yeah, that's something. I mean, the gods are known to become upset also, right? Like, you know, Parvati Devi got upset when Vinayaka, when Chandra laughed at, the moon laughed at Vinayaka.
Yeah.
So curses happen like that. So that is one of the reasons why Kali Yuga is one of the worst yugas, right? There are a lot of bad things that happen in Kali Yuga, and Parasurama also cursed that the stotras will be ineffective. So there's a long story, we'll not go into that story, but the important point to note here is that though all the stotras are ineffective, only the Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama, and there is another Devi ritual called Chandika Saptashati. So you remember that, right? It is commonly practiced in homes also, Saptashati. It's also called Devi Mahatmyam. So these are the only three stotras which are unaffected by Parashurama's curse. So that means these three stotras, stotras still grant fruits even in Kali Yuga. So what are the three?
Bhagavad Gita, Sri Vishnu Sahasranama, and the Devi Mahatmyam.
Yeah, Chandika Saptashati. So I'm sure you attended these pujas either in temples or in homes, right? It's Chandi Saptashati is being practiced in many homes in India and in US also. I attended once. Chandi Saptashati in one of the homes, my friend's home. So it goes on for a few hours, and even kids can participate in it. They can listen and all that. So these are the three powerful stotras which are unaffected by Parashurama's curse. Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama, and Chandika Saptashati. So we are covering Bhagavad Gita and Vishnu Sahasranama. Chandika Saptashati will cover if there is time. If maybe after a year or two, if we are done with all the others, then we will cover Saptashati, Devi Mahatmyam. Okay. So before starting anything, what do you have to do? You have to pray to remove obstacles.
Ganesha?
Yeah, that is another very important question, which I will answer in the next 2 slides. So Bhishma said that Vishnu Sahasranama is the best and easiest of all rituals, or all rituals to for Janma Rahityam. That means no rebirth. From Actually, from all bondage, not just Janmarahitya, but any bondage. You recite Vishnu Sahasranama. We will come to that towards the end of the Vishnu Sahasranama, but Bhishma clearly says that reciting Vishnu Sahasranama is the easiest and the best way to get relief from all bondage, any kind of bondage, not just life and death bondage, but any kind of bondage. But even this powerful stotra can be obstructed by obstacles, right? There are some evil forces, that's what they say, right? There are evil forces around which can cause obstacles. Even when Vinayaka himself was writing Mahabharata, as Vyasa was telling him, there was a vignam, right? There was an obstacle because of which he had to cut his tusk, as one of the stories goes. So first thing we have to do is we have to clear obstacles. So the first two slokas in Vishnu Sahasranama are for removing obstacles. The first sloka you all know. So, okay, read with me or recite with me. Shuklam baradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. So you all know what is Shukla?
White.
So by the way, this sloka is for whom? This sloka is about whom?
Vishnu or Ganesha?
It is actually for Ganesha. Ganesha is referred to as Vishnu. Why?
Because Vishnu.
What does Vishnu mean?
Not nothing.
Not nothing. That means everything.
So he's Ganesha too?
Yeah, Ganesha is also everywhere, right? He resides in all our hearts, our puja rituals. There's nothing that starts without praying to him. So he's everywhere. So that is why he's referred to as Vishnu.
So therefore, every god is Vishnu, isn't it?
Yeah,
Most?
yeah. You can think like that. A lot of names, like in the pujas, if you have time, you recite 1,000 names. Otherwise, you recite 108 names, right? So a lot of these 108 names are common across gods, right? For Shiva, there are some names which are also common for Vishnu. Because they are all qualities, they are not really names, they are all qualities of the God. So Vishnu is one quality of God. But the Mula deity, Mula God, that means the main God who is called Vishnu is the Vishnu that we know. But the Vishnu in this sloka is not, though this is Vishnu Sahasranamam, the Vishnu in this sloka is Ganapati, Ganesha. So this is a description of Ganesha. Shukla means what?
White.
Yeah, good. So let us read the meaning. Okay, let us read it in Sanskrit also. Okay, recite with me. Shuklam baradharam Vishnam Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. So this is the first sloka. Okay, the meaning is, dressed in white you are, O all-pervading one, and glowing with the color of moon, with 4 arms. You are the all-knowing one. I meditate on your ever-smiling face and pray. Remove all obstacles on my way. So that is the meaning. That is the general meaning. Now let us look at the words. Shukla means white. You already said. Good. Ambara means?
Pervading?
No. Dharam. What does dharam mean? Dharam.
Does it have something to do with Dihi?
No, dharam. No. In Telugu they say dharinchadam, right? What does dharinchadam mean?
Pervading?
No, dhara means wear. So Shukla Ambara means, now tell me, this is white, this is where? What is Ambara?
Dress.
Right. Ambara means dress, cloth actually. So white cloth wearing. Vishnu, you already know. Sasi, who is Sasi?
The moon.
The moon. Varnam. What does Varna mean?
Varna was one of the elements.
Boons. You get like boom.
Who?
Wait, Varna was like fire or water or wind.
No, Sasi Varnam. Okay, let us look at it like this. Sasi Varnam means what?
Color?
Yeah, color. Varnam means color. So Shashi Varnam means color of the moon. What is the color of the moon?
White.
White. Chatur means
4.
4. Bhujam.
In Telugu, Bhuja means shoulder.
Right. In Sanskrit also, Bhujam means shoulder. 4 shoulders. Prasanna. Prasanna is a very common Indian name also.
Yeah.
Prasanna means
The all.
Vadanam. Okay, let us look at the next word. Maybe you'll, if you know the next word, you might tell the before word. Vadanam means Vadana. Vadan. What does Vadanam means? In Telugu also same word, Vadanam. Vadanam means face. Now tell me, what is Prasanna?
Smiling.
Yeah, ever smiling face. Pleasant face. Prasanna means pleasant. Pleasant face. Dhyayet.
Right.
This is the word that you were telling, the meaning for which you were telling all
Oh,
these.
Dihi.
Yeah, from Dihi. This word is from Dihi, mind.
So meditate.
Meditate. Sarva,
All.
Vigna.
He means not. Well, does it have something to do with Vigna Vinayaka?
Yeah.
Vigna
Vigna.
Vinayaka means the one who removes all obstacles and bad
Right.
things.
So what is Vigna?
Remove obstacles?
Right. Vigna means obstacles. Upashantaye. Upashantaye means Upasamanam. Upashantaye means, in Telugu they say Upashamanam. So Upashantaye means to relieve. That's the right word. Upashantaye means to relieve. Or to, yeah, you can also think of it as remove.
So Sarva Vigno Pashante means to remove all
Obstacles. That's right. That is the meaning of Shuklam Baradharam. So Lord Vinayaka is dressed in white and he is all pervading. That means he is there everywhere. And he has a glow with the color of moon, which is white. He has 4 arms and he is, he has a smiling face, and we meditate upon him so that he can remove all our obstacles. That is the meaning of Shuklam Baradharam. So next time when you recite the slokam, remember the meaning, right? Always, mantra means mantra.
mind.
Tra means save. Man means mind. So mantra means saving the mind. When will it save the mind? When you have the feeling in your mind. Otherwise, it doesn't save you. So you have to remember the meaning whenever you recite mantras. Otherwise, it does not have the effect of mantra. So many people, you may not have seen this much, but I grew up in India, so I saw this a lot. So they would hold a rosary in their hand. They'd be reading mantras in the mind. And then they would be when a kid does something bad, they would look angrily at the boy and then like that, all the faces, the neck, and all that. So that is not mantra. That will not have the effect of mantra. Mantra will have effect only when the meaning is in your mind. Just repeating, of course, it does have some effect even if you are not thinking about the meaning. It has some effect. The very words, the very way the words are strung together, that itself will have a purifying effect on the mind. But the real effect will be when you have the meaning also in the mind, not just the words. So there is a slokam, right? Vakardha viva sampruptau. So when comparing Shiva and Parvati, uh, we say that Shiva and Parvati are like the word and the meaning. Right? Vak means word, Ardha means meaning. Vak Ardha. Iva means what?
Eva and Eva.
Eva is certainly, right? Iva means like. So like word and meaning, Vakardha, Iva, Samprupto means joined together. Lord Shiva and Parvati are joined together like that. Vakardha, Viva Samprupto, Vakardha Pratipadde, like every word, pada means word. Vak means actually sound rather. Yeah, vak means sound. Ardha means meaning. So just like every word has a sound and a meaning, each one of us have a mother and a father who are Parvati and Parameswara. That's what it means. Vakardha. So you cannot separate word from the meaning. So it is very important to know the meaning of the mantra when you recite them in your mind. Only then they will have the full effect. Okay, so next time when you read this sloka, remember the meaning also in your mind. Now the next sloka is also to remove. So this is an interesting concept. You will find this new to you, I'm pretty sure. So the next sloka is also to remove the obstacles. But, and interestingly, okay, let us, I will not spoil the surprise. So let us read this sloka first. Yasya virada vaktradya parishadyaha parashatam vignam nignanti satatam visvaksenam tamashraye. Again, yasya virada vaktradyaha parishadyaha parashatam vignam nignanti satatam vishvaksenam tamashraye. This is the second sloka, which is recited sometimes and not recited sometimes. I'll tell you why. Okay, so you know the meaning of at least a few words, right? What is yasya?
Yasya.
Like whenever.
Yeah, whose? Yasya means whose. So vignam.
Vigna
Yeah, we just covered in the last sloka. What is the meaning of vigna?
obstacles.
Obstacle. Okay, so shatam. Shatam means 1,000, means many. Okay, so Vignam tells you that this sloka is also about removing obstacles.
Which is Ganesha.
Which is Ganesha is what you think, but you'll be surprised. So the meaning of the sloka is, the elephant-faced one, along with his innumerable attendants, would always remove obstacles as we depend on Vishvaksena for removing the obstacles. So we are introducing a new god called Vishvaksena. And this Vishvaksena has elephant face also. Isn't that interesting?
Gajasura?
No. So Vishvaksena is like the supreme commander of the army of Vishnu.
Like the commander-in-chief.
He is like the commander-in-chief for Vishnu's army.
Oh, like a general.
Yeah, he is the general. That's right. He is the supreme general. I mean, not just general, but the supreme commander. And then he also has elephant face. And interestingly, it is believed that Ganesha is one of the elephant-faced Vignadipatis who actually works for Vishvaksena. So Vishvaksena is like the boss of Ganesha. But this concept is there only in Vaishnavite philosophy. There are two sects, Shaivite and Vaishnavite, right? Shaivite are those who pray to Lord Shiva, and Vaishnavites are those who pray to Vishnu. These days, that difference is slowly going away, but at least to start with, like Ramanujacharya was a Vaishnavite and Adi Shankaracharya was a Shaivite. But most of the works that Adi Shankaracharya did were for Vishnu, Lakshmi, like, yeah, the meanings of Vishnu Sahasranama. One of the famous works of Adi Shankaracharya is the interpretation and meaning of Vishnu Sahasranama. In fact, we will be covering his meanings, his interpretations while we talk in these sessions. So that the difference is blurred between Shaivites and Vaishnavites. But this sloka is recited mostly by Vaishnavites because they believe that Vishvaksena is the lord of all Ganapatis. There are many Ganapatis and Vishvaksena is the lord of all Ganapati. So even in the previous sloka, we prayed to Ganesha, right? So this prayer also actually goes to him because Ganesha reports to Vishvaksena. In the Prajna class also, that's what you were told, right? Ganesha is Vishnu.
He said that Ganesha is just not a god, but a devotee.
Yeah, a deity.
Yeah, a deity.
Right. So that is what they believe. So it's all belief, but we don't have to be too much concerned about it. But Vaishnavites pray to Vishvaksena for removing obstacles. And Vishvaksena does the same thing as Ganesha, like Ganesha. He removes obstacles. So in this sloka, Vaktra means face. Vaktradhya, Parishadhyaha, Parashatam. Parashatam means many followers, attendants. Vignam Nignanti Satatam means Vignam means obstacles. Nignanti means removing. Satatam always. Vishvaksenam Tamashraye. So Tam means him, right? Tam means him. Ashraye means we follow or we take shelter in. Yeah, take shelter in. Ashraya means take shelter in. So we take shelter in Vishvaksena, who removes obstacles all the time, who has an elephant face, and who has many attendants, innumerable number of attendants. So that's what this sloka means.
Does Ashraya mean shelter like ashram?
Right. Ashram is also from the word shre, ashraya, shelter. It means taking shelter. This is the second sloka of the Vaishnavite version of Vishnu Sahasranama. Okay, now we start with the preface. I mean, when you read a book, there's a preface, right? But the preface to Vishnu Sahasranama is much longer than you find in any book. slightly longer. So we'll spend some time on preface, and it is very valuable also. So first, so we prayed to the Ganapatis to remove obstacles. We prayed to Ganesha and Vishwaksena to remove obstacles. So next, who should we pray to? Or who should we think of?
Vishwaksena's boss. So
Vishwaksena's boss is Vishnu himself.
So Vishnu.
But before that, who told you about Vishnu Sahasranama?
Bhishma.
Bhishma. And
Or Vyasa.
yeah, Vyasa. So we have to first think about Vyasa. See, our culture is so precious, right? I mean, we are somehow losing for unfortunate reasons, but our culture has many good things. Our culture says that you have to first pray to Guru even before you pray to the God. Why? Because Guru is the one who showed you the God. So if you please Guru, it's a gateway to pleasing the God. You cannot please the God without pleasing your Guru. So that is the reason why Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. What is the meaning? Guru means the teacher. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo means God. Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Shiva. Guru Sakshat.
What is Sakshat?
Sakshat means directly. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma is the Parabrahma himself. Tasmai means that Guru. Sri Gurave Namaha. I bow to or I pray to the Guru. So that is first, you should pray to teachers. Unfortunately, the concept of teacher is getting diluted these days, but otherwise, teacher played a very big role. I mean, we are like this today because of teachers, right? If teachers did not teach us all these good things, the civilization would have been lost long back.
And we wouldn't have had much knowledge.
Yeah, so that is the reason why our culture says first think of the teacher. So the teacher for Vishnu Sahasranama is Vyasa. In fact, in one of the slokas, it clearly says who the God is. For every stotra, there is a God, there is a teacher, there is a chandas, that means meter, right? You know the meter, right? And Lagu, Guru, and all that. That's called the meter. So for every stotra, there is all these things. So one of the slokas tells who the Guru is, who the God is, and all that. So Vyasa is the first person we think of. So the first sloka is, okay, let us read it in English first. And read with me if you know already. If you don't know, recite it in your mind or in lower voice, but repeat with me. Vyasam Vashishta Naptaram Shakte Pautramakalmasam Parasaratmajam Vande Sukatatam Taponidham. This is the third sloka in Sanskrit. Vyasam Vasishta Naptaram Shakte Pautramakalmasam Parasaratmajam Vande Sukatatam Taponidham. This is the third sloka. So the meaning is, I bow before you, Vyasa, the treasure house of penance. What is penance? Yeah, meditating, serious meditation. The great grandson of Vashishta, the grandson of Shakti, the son of Parashara, and the father of Shuka.
Wait, did Bhishma say this sloka? Or
No, this is our.
what we will?
Yeah, this is for us. So Vyasam. What is the meaning of Vyasam?
Vyasa.
Yeah, Vyasa. The name Vyasa. Vashishta. Actually, you know what? You know the real name of Vyasa? The real name of Vyasa is Krishna Dvaipayana. Dvaipayana. What is Krishna? What does Krishna mean?
Black.
Right. Krishna means black. And Dvaipayana means? What is dvip? Dvipa.
Like Deepa.
Dvipa. In Hindi, in Telugu, in all Indian languages, dvip. No, dvipa means island. So Dvaipayana is someone who is born on an island. So now you know Vyasa. Vyasa was
Born on an island.
and
Krishna means black.
so
He was born on a black island.
yeah, good thinking. But actually it means Vyasa was actually dark in color. And he was born on a island. So I hope that made you curious. I'll tell you what the story behind it. So Vyasam, Vashishta. Who is Vashishta?
Guru of Rama.
Yeah, Guru of the four brothers, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. Vashishta, Naptaram. Putra means what?
The person who the person who removes sin.
That's right. Putra means son, but the real meaning is that who saves from the Punnama Narakas. So Napta, like two, Putra is kind of in this word, right? Naptaram. So Naptara means great grandfather or great grandson. Vashishta Naptara means great grandson of Vashishta. Shaktehe.
Is it the same in Telugu?
No, Shakti, look at here, grandson of Shakti. Shakti is the grandfather of Vyasa. Great grandfather is Vashishta, grandfather is Shakti. Shakte Pautra. Pautra comes from Putra. Pautra means grandson. Kalmasham means, okay, we'll come to that later. Parashar Atmajam. Atmajam means, Atmaja means what? Ja means, in Sanskrit, what does Ja mean?
It's like we.
No, Ja means Janma. What does Janma mean?
It means birth or life.
Birth. So Ja means
Life or health.
born, being born. Atma Ja. Atma means?
Being soul.
Atma means soul. Atma Ja means born from the soul. Who is born from our soul? Son, right? Your son.
Yeah.
So Parasharatmajam means son of Parashara. Vande means we pray. Vande Matram, right? Vande means we pray. Sukatatam means Shuka is a sage. Shuka's tata means Shuka's father. Sukatatam. Taponidhim means is a treasure house of, Nidhim means treasure house, right? Nidhi means treasure house. Tapa means penance. So he's a treasure house of penance.
Like tapa as in tapasya.
Yeah. So these are the qualities. These are this is how Vyasa is described.
Then what's Pautrama Kalmasham?
So Pautrama Kalmasham can be viewed as one word. It simply means the grandson of Shakti. So Vyasa is a very, for us, Vyasa holds a very great place as a teacher, as many things actually. So that is the reason why we should talk about Vyasa in detail. So you know the Vedas, right? Vyasa is the one who showed us the Vedas as we know today. So he classified the Vedas.
Oh, so he wrote Rigveda.
No. He classified. Vedas were there long back. Yeah, yes. He classified. This belongs to this. Samhitas. Remember last class we saw the layers of Vedas?
Yeah.
This class also, if there's time, we are going to look at it. But so he is responsible for that classification. He compiled the Vedas. he edited the Vedas and published them in 4 volumes. So Rig Veda, has 21 branches. Did we talk about branches? No, I think, right? Rig Veda has branches. They're further classified. There are 21 branches. Yajur Veda has 101 branches. Then Samaveda has, I think, 1,000 branches. And Adharvana Veda has 9 branches. So he did all this classification, and he kind of directed us to the Vedas. So that is one reason he is very important for us. And his father, Parashara, there's a great story about how Vyasa was born. You know Vyasa's mother?
No, never heard of her.
So Vyasa's mother is actually a fisherman's daughter.
Like Parvati Devi.
No, Parvati Devi is not fisherman's daughter. So Vyasa's Vyasa's mother is a fisherman's daughter. So the story goes like this. Parashara, so by the way, Vashishta, right?
Yeah.
Vashishta's son is Shakti. And unfortunately, Shakti dies pretty early. Shakti died pretty early when Parashara was, I think, not even born, I think, that time. But even when Parashara was in his mom's tummy, he could recite Vedas and all that. Parashara was a great sage. He wrote some books. I mean, he did not write books with his hand, but he told a lot of things to his students, and his students wrote the books for him. So Parashara's books, some of the books are on astrology.
Astrology, like the study of the stars?
Yeah, the study of the stars, and based on the astrology, you can predict the future of people. The time, you can predict the time, what's going to happen when. So that is also called Jyotisha. In Indian language, it's called Jyotisha. So he wrote that astrology book or Jyotisha book called Parashara Hora. Horoscope, Hora. You know horoscope, right?
Yeah.
So in Sanskrit, it's Hora.
Ah.
See how they are so closely related. So the book that he wrote is called Parashara Hora, and it's all about Jyotisha Shastra or astrology, prediction. And the other book he wrote is called Parashara Smriti. Smriti is there are 2 kinds of literature, Hindu literature. One is called Shruti, and the other is called Smriti. Shruti is Vedas. Smritis are like this. They are not Vedas, but they are equally important. So Parashara wrote what is called as Parashara Smriti, which is a Dharma Shastra kind of book. It's a book about righteousness. Smriti is all about righteousness and the practice and all that. Like Manusmriti is something that we practice even today. Some other things. So the story is like this. So so Shakti was short-lived. So we don't know much about Shakti, but we know a lot about Vashishta, Vishwamitra, we already know. We don't want to spend time discussing that, but Parashara. So Shakti's son is Parashara. And Parashara was this powerful person. So he is going in a boat. He has to cross the river. So he was going in a boat. And the boat was being, driven or whatever.
Road.
Yeah, rowed by a boatman with his daughter in the boat. So Parashara is a great astrologist. So he keeps calculating, he does astrology, and suddenly it strikes him that in a few minutes, if a boy enters the womb of a woman, then that boy will be direct reflection of Lord Vishnu himself. So he calculates, he does the astrology calculations and decides that in a few minutes, if somebody goes into the womb of a mother, that person is going to be Lord Vishnu himself.
But aren't
And he's on river. So he tells this to the boatman. He tells this to the boatman, and the boatman he asks the boatman. He tells this to the boatman. He asks them, how long does it take to cross the river? Then he says, it'll take a long time. Then Parashara says, see, this is what I found out. In a few minutes, if a boy goes into the womb of a woman, then that boy is going to become, the boy is directly Lord Vishnu himself. Then the boatman says, I mean, I cannot take the boat so fast that we reach the shore in that time, but I can tell you that I can offer my daughter as the mother of that person, of that Lord Vishnu's incarnation or Lord Vishnu's reflection.
wait.
So what Parashara does is he creates an island out of nowhere using his taponidhi, using his penance. Penance gives you a lot of power. He creates an island and the boat goes to that island, and exactly at that time he makes sure that the child enters the womb, and that child is Vyasa. That is the story of Vyasa. That is why, and when the child was born, he was dark, so that's why he was called Krishna Dvaipayana, a dark boy born on an island, right? So that is the story of Vyasa. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So Vyasa's mom is actually a boatman's daughter, boatman or a fisherman. Her name is her actual name was Matsya Gandhi, but we also know her as Satyavati. Did you hear his name anywhere?
Yeah, isn't Satyavati like a name for one of Krishna's wives?
That is Satyabhama. Yeah, but
yeah, I
you
heard Satyavati as well.
Yeah.
In the timeline of that.
Yeah, Satyavati is Bhishma's stepmom. Bhishma's mom is Ganga, right?
Yeah.
Bhishma's dad is
The like one of the
Shantanu, right? So Shantanu's, so that's another story. Anyway, we'll not go into that story now, but yes, it's all related. So Vyasa, then Bhishma, they're all related. Okay, so Vyasa is the person who gave us this classification of the Hindu literature, right? So the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvana Veda, we saw that last time. And we talked about Brahmanas. Brahmanas are embedded within each Veda, and it's mostly about rituals. And then we also talked about Samhitas, right? Samhitas. So Samhitas are basically the earliest part of the Vedas. And an example of Samhita we talked about in the last class is Rudram, right? Rudram is a Samhita. Samhitas have both praises and prayers. Like Rudram has a praise part and has a prayer part. The praise part is called Namakam. The prayer part is called Chamakam. So we first praise the God in many forms, and next we pray to him to grant us some boons. Shanchame Mayashame is the Chamakam part where we ask for a lot of boons. And so that is Samhita. Another example of Samhita is Ashtavakra Gita. We talked about Ashtavakra Gita, right? The conversation that happens between Ashtavakra and the father of Sita Devi.
Yeah, and we talked about why Ashtavakra is called Ashtavakra.
Yeah. And then we also have Smritis. Smriti.
Oh, like Smriti and Shruti.
See, Parashara Smriti, Manu Smriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, Narada Smriti. These are the Smritis. So Smritis, Smriti literally means, what does Smriti mean?
The sutra?
Yeah, so what do you do with the sutra?
You chant it.
Before chanting?
Learn it.
Before, okay, learning, after learning and before chanting?
Writing?
You store it in your mind.
Ah,
So Smriti means memory. It simply means memory. So Smriti is based on memory. And Shruti actually means what is heard. So Vedas are called Shruti. All these Vedas are called Shruti.
oh.
Why are they called Shruti? Because they were passed on from one generation to the other by way of listening. They were not written anywhere. Now they are written, but till recently they were not written anywhere. The Vedas were not written anywhere. They were passed on from one generation to the other by word of mouth. So that is why they are called Shruti. So so these are Smritis: Manu Smriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, Parashara. We already talked about Parashara Smriti, that Parashara, the sage Parashara wrote. So they are all Smriti. And Mahabharata and of course Gita, which is part of Mahabharata, are part of Smriti as well. So you will notice that quite a few things belong to multiple places. So it all depends on how one views it. But in some literature, Mahabharata is considered as part of Smriti also. But the most important Smriti for us is the Manusmriti. Our law, today's law, is somewhat based on Manusmriti. Manusmriti tells what is good and what is bad. So Manusmriti is one of the, not everything is followed in Manusmriti, but a lot of it is still followed even today. It's like the code. Law is called code, right? Civil code, criminal code. So like that, Manusmriti is basically code for us to follow. And Upanishads, you all know, right? Upanishads,
Yeah.
we have heard so many times. They're also called Vedanta. What is Vedanta means? Vedas, you know. What is Anta mean?
All of it?
Anta. So where is Upanishad?
Like
It is
Rigveda and Yajurveda.
it is at the end of the Vedas, right? Sort of end. So Vedanta means, Anta means end. So Upanishads are at the end of the Vedas. So they deal with meditation, they deal with philosophy, and so the remaining parts of Vedas are mostly mantras, but Upanishads, in fact, Bhagavad Gita itself is called one of the Upanishads, right? If you look at this, Taittiriya Upanishad, like Sikshavalli. Sikshavalli is one example of an extract from the Upanishads. I'm sure you would have heard Sikshavalli being recited in the temple. Siksha means instruction, right? It's the teaching. Sikshavalli. Valli means vines, like grapevine. Valli means in Sanskrit or in Telugu, it means vines. What do you call them? Vines? The plant vines.
In Telugu.
No, in English. You know what wines are, right?
Yeah.
Grape wine, like that. So Valli means wine. So Taittiriya Upanishad is from the Yajurveda, and one of the popular hymns from the Taittiriya Upanishad is the Sikshavalli. So Sikshavalli is like an oath taken by students, promises by the student who will be learning Vedas. So before learning the Vedas, the guru would ask or before or after, whatever, after teaching the Vedas, the guru, I think it is before mostly, the guru asks his students to um, take an oath. Like today, even today that practice is there. Doctors have to compulsorily take an oath. You know that, right? Doctors have to take an oath, without which they will not be given the degree. In India, at least, that is the practice. They take an oath that life is more important than money and all that stuff. Same thing with engineers. Santa Clara University has a program where you are formally inducted into the Academy of Engineers. So you take an oath and all that stuff, and you have to abide by that oath. So like that, Sikshavali is a set of promises that the students have to make before or after they learn Vedas, because Vedas are very powerful. So they have to make promises that they are not going to misuse the Vedas. So that is Sikshavali. It is taken from the Taittiriya Upanishad from the Yajurveda. And then Katha, we talked about Katha Upanishad, right? Last class.
Yeah.
What is Katha Upanishad?
Like Katha.
No, Katha. We talked about it in the last class. Nachiketa and the Yama god, right?
Oh, the discussion between.
Yeah, Yama god, the god of death, and Nachiketa. So that is another example of Upanishad. The whole discussion between Nachiketa and Yama is called Kathopanishad. So, and similarly, there is.
I know about that, like this. I know that. I know what that is.
Yeah.
You were talking about stress, like sacrifices, very big sacrifices.
Yeah, that's right. So Nachiketa's dad sacrifices a lot of things. Nachiketa asks his dad why he is sacrificing all useless things and not the real important ones. And Nachiketa's dad, in a fit of anger, says, "I'm sacrificing you."
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is Kathopanishad. And there is what else is there? There is Aranyaka. See, these are Aranyakas. So Aranyakas are basically philosophy behind the ritual sacrifices. So they explain the significance of what is Brahmanas is all about rituals, right? How to do yajnas and all that, all the mantras needed for the yajnas and other rituals. So Aranyakas tell the philosophy behind those rituals, the Brahmanas. And Samhitas are from the ancient times, and Aranyakas are from the recent times of Vedas. And so Agama Shastra, this Agama Shastra is very important. Can you guess why? So Agama Shastra laid down rules for sculptures. So most of our temples follow Agama Shastra.
Like
The temples,
architecture?
right, architecture. So the architecture, Vaishnava architecture, see Vaishnava, Saiva architecture. So temples, you can clearly see these ancient temples particularly, you can clearly see these principles in the temple. So for instance, So Agamas state that there are three requirements for a place of pilgrimage. For a place to become a pilgrimage, there are three requirements. There is Thala, there is Tirtha, and there is Murti. Thala means place. We talked about it in the very first class of Bhagavad Gita, if you remember, the importance of place. How Dehradun is even today a great place for teaching because of Drona, who is the teacher of Pandavas and Kauravas.
Dronacharya.
Yeah, Dronacharya. Similarly, we talked about Kishkinda,
Yeah.
South India. Even today, there's a lot of devotion in that place. So like that. So Sthala is important. Then Tirtha. Tirtha is a temple tank. You go to any temple, ancient temples, you will find a tank of water. So the Agama Shastra says that every temple should have a Tirtha.
Why?
That's a belief. I mean, you have to study Agama Shastras in depth to know all that. But it states that for a place to be a pilgrimage, the sthala is important. There should be a tank, temple tank with water in it, and then the murti itself. What is the murti?
The statue or
The
idol.
statue or the idol of God. So those are the three important things that Agama state for a place to become a pilgrimage. Not every place becomes a pilgrimage automatically. So Agama Shastra has all those rules. The sculpture, how the idol should be sculptured, and how the temple should be built, the kind of images to be installed, and the kind of materials that the idol should be made from, their dimensions, proportions, and how the air should be circulated in the temple, how the lighting should be done in the temple complex. All those things are all laid down in Agamas. So a lot of the ancient and powerful pilgrimage temples follow the Agama Sutras. Okay, we'll try to cover more about it in the next class. There's something more. So any questions so far? Okay, if there are no questions, we'll end the class with our prayer. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti 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 Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Sanmangalani Santu. See you next week.